Hello, everyone. It's Sunday, and you know what that means? Work tomorrow. No, just kidding. This is my normal Sunday episode of El Jefe N Scale with the layout update. And today I'm going to be talking about the double crossover. And so, what's going on here is I'm running this on DC, and at this time, to switch a train between the tracks on DC, I'm running multiple Y connectors to one transformer power pack to power all four terminals on either side of it. So there's a terminal there, terminal feeder over here, terminal feeder here, and terminal feeder here. And I also run this by changing my Y connectors. I have multiple soldered Y connectors, pardon the insanity here with the temporary power pack wiring. I might make a throttle shelf up here in the future. But let me show you. Let's flip the switch. And here we go. Our FEF3 goes through it like a double loop. And if you just keep running the circuit like this, it'll just keep going back and forth between the inner and outer radius. And so it gives kind of a folded loop type running situation when I'm using it like this. So let's wait for her to come around the mountain here again. Here she comes out of the tunnel. And there you go. So let's switch it back. It's pretty neat to see these the points throw simultaneously with one flip of the switch. Pretty neato. So let's get our FEF some speed here to bring it back around. And there we go. I just got the FEF3 yesterday, and pretty neato. I'm liking it. So there we go, guys. We also did the trestle in that erosion chasm. Not my best work, but it'll do. You know, it looks like contractors just threw something together to make the insurance adjusters happy. So there we go on that. And so here's the situation of being able to jockey around four trains on this small 4 foot by 30-inch layout. So we got a couple trains on the sidings, and I am able to, by moving some switches and some strategic throttling, I am able to get the train that's on the main line parked, the same at the bottom here, and then get the other train off the siding and back onto the main line. So I'm pretty much done adding all of the scenery elements that I took from the first layout I demolished. There's the rest of the cactus, and we got the lighting up and running for the depot and the RV trailer. Added the little details for the trailer. And here, what's pretty cool, I wish I had more room. I made them. I'm all, man, those are going to look really neat. But then when I made them, I'm like, geez, I don't have much of a place to put them because I didn't want to block line of sight if I'm looking lengthwise down the track like this. I didn't really want to block that line of sight because I could have put them just right here. And I might do like a ghost town up here, a few buildings. I plan on doing not really into the way 3D printed stuff looks, even if it's painted well. There's some actual wood kits of some old West style buildings I'm looking at, so I might do that up there. But yeah, these rocks turned out really great. They have a really awesome texture to them. So they are really neat. I put one more up here to kind of break up that the seam line of the removable mountain. So here's another one of those pine bark rocks. So it's just all they are big chunks of pine bark, strategically painted to match the rest of the scenery, and man, they look great. They almost look better texture-wise than hydrocale rocks. So there's those. So yeah, everything's looking and running really well on this thing. So if I also, I'm not going to demo it in this video, maybe I'll demo it in the next double crossover video I'm going to do, to where I can run two trains at the same time, you know, running against each other or parallel with each other on the double crossover using two throttles. So one throttle hooked up to this line, and another throttle hooked up to this line, talking DC. If I was running DCC, all of this little power pack throttle management Y connector situation wouldn't be a deal. But I'm strictly talking DC here, the way I'm operating now. But so when I do that, if I'm going to run two trains at the same time on two power packs, as long as the points are like this and the train's running on its own line, you don't have to worry about power pack throttle direction or matching the throttles. But if you're going to switch a train over with a power pack hooked up to one line and a power pack hooked up to the other line, you better damn well make sure that those the direction on the throttles are the same, because you'll wind up with a short. See, this double crossover is insulated right down the middle, and so when the points are switched to actually cross over, that's where the insulation comes into effect. If I believe, I might be wrong in this, but when the points are parallel like this, I don't think that insulation situation is a factor, but it really comes into play when locomotives are crossing over. So, if you're doing what I'm doing and occasionally use a power pack per circuit on this crossover, and you want to cross the train over, you got to make sure those throttles, the throttle levels are matched, and make real sure that those directions are matched. Otherwise, when I do it like that, it works very well. The one thing though, running on DC, being that there's two power packs involved, is when the locomotive crosses the insulation section, being that one set of wheels is on one side and the other set of wheels is on the other side, just momentarily at low speeds, you'll get a little, like a little blip jump in the throttle. You'll see the light on the locomotive get brighter for a split sec, and it'll do a little speed jump. And the reason why it's doing that is because for a moment it's picking up power from both power packs to one locomotive, so basically it doubles the voltage for a split second. I don't see it. It hasn't damaged anything doing that. It's not. It's only noticeable at speeds like this. If you're running any faster than this using two throttles, the little speed jump I'm talking about is not noticeable at all. Not noticeable at all. But right now I'm just running it on one throttle, which has the terminals connected to one power pack. That's a non-issue when you actually cross over here. So that's it for the double crossover. If you guys have any other questions on it, as far as especially running it in DC, go ahead and ask me in the comments. But yeah, the layout is there. All the macro work is done. The wife is going to be very happy that I'm not spending entire days and weekends on this thing anymore. So I can just leisurely do some detail work whenever I feel like it. You know, I'm going to add details and maybe some people, perhaps some animals, horses, mountain climber or two up here. You know, I'll figure it out what I'm going to do detail-wise, but this is definitely an upgrade over my first layout. This thing is just so much more interesting and fun than the first layout I did. So, alright guys, do some panning around here just so you can take in more of the scenery. Let's watch this little end coach go into the tunnel there. Oh, and also I added the, like I did on my smaller desert layout, the Velcro piece of painted styrene for the tunnel port access. That way I can darken the tunnel if anything gets stuck in there. Which it has not so far, but if it does happen, I can just unzip the Velcro on that and I got access to the tunnel. Same thing on the back for the lower tunnel. So, that, got the cool UP bay window caboose. And get our Bachmann GP40 coming out of the tunnel here. Okay, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hang in there with your work week and keep up with me for more vids to come. Take it easy.